from the beautiful island of Maui, Hawaii. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, it's hawaiirealestate.org, and we are here for the first time, literally, since the fire happened in Lahaina town, today is October 19th. Of course, the fire was August 8th, so 14 and a half months later, this is literally the first live that we've done in Lahaina. I drove on the highway one time, so you are allowed access down here, but the vast majority of the town is still completely monitored 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by security, and we're going to show that to you, which I think is very strange and unusual. This is the first time Ryan's been down here actually since...
Yeah, it's a trip.
Even since before the fire.
Yeah.
Right? So you were down here surfing with Jake or doing some photography. And so this is very... disorienting. All the landmarks are gone, obviously. But the purpose of this video is to give you guys an update so you can see what the town looks like today. A lot of you are calling and asking and wanting to know what's up with Lahaina. And that's what we're doing here today. So let's jump right into it. And as always, if you enjoy this kind of content, please thumb up the video, shaka, share, subscribe, and of course I will put the link in the description for the sponsor of today's video. I'm just kidding. Which is what? Who's sponsoring it?
Monsanto.
Monsanto, no. Switchforlahaina.com. So I'll put a link in the description if you want to support the people here. We've got a work crew going. Ryan is actually helping with the project as well, helping people that suffered at the hands of the fire. So look in the description of this, go check it out, switchforlahaina.com, a great way to not support the elites. I just toured a buyer actually a couple days ago. Her house burned in Malibu, and she's confirmed that the community is basically gone and the elites have rebuilt in Lahaina, in Malibu, and they had all these rules and regulations and coastal commission and why people couldn't rebuild, and they just waited them out. And I think that's basically what's going to happen here. So you can see for yourself here that not much has happened in 14 and a half months. It's kind of crazy.
We got to create a term for those places that's happened to.
Yeah, it's a good idea. What should we call it? The elites taking over.
FEMA towns? I don't know.
FEMA towns,
Seems
yeah.
like FEMA's got a lot of control of it.
So where are we located right now? We are right now one of the most underrated beaches in all of Westside Maui. That is Lahaina Shores. We're at Breakwall. This is where the school used to be, Cam 3rd. Obviously, you have the West Maui, Kahalavai, Mauna Kahalavai Mountains right there. And you have what's left of the school, which is basically the office, Cam 3, right there. You can see a melted electrical box right there. And just to the north of that is, of course, our beautiful Lahaina harbor, completely empty. I think every boat burned here, which is quite suspect in my opinion. You'd think surrounded by water, a boat would be safe. Because, check it out, these boxes are safe. We'll go over there and take a look at one of these boxes, but those are plywood, old plywood boxes, and there's a number of them up and down here, and they are perfectly fine, but somehow, of course, all the boats managed to burn. You have the banyan tree. Banyan tree is actually looking really good. But I will admit it's kind of sad. They have cut down most of the mangoes inside of Lahaina town. I had a number of friends, business owners that had beautiful mango trees on their property that survived, and the county cut them down, or FEMA or somebody in the government. So don't know why they cut down all the beautiful mango trees in Lahaina. I'll show you a sign as we're leaving. There's one mango tree that's up, and they have a little painted sign that says, "No cut da mango." There's the bathrooms. The bathrooms survived, of course. Interesting how a lot of Maui County structures survived. And there is, of course, the new harbor master office, which I think did burn.
Yeah, a lot of people are commenting on North Carolina and Tennessee, and I think it's the same theme. What's going on and what's going to keep happening is there's going to be these natural disasters, and it's going to be a way to create an excuse to take over the land.
Disaster economics.
With the scapegoat of climate change.
Yeah, the climate is changing because they are changing it. It's called weather engineering.
HARP.
So you can see some of this stuff still has not been taken down. Most of the lots that are residential look like this now. Now this is where the school was, of course, but most of the lots, they brought in this gravel, which I don't know. I've talked to other people from other places like Paradise. It's very unusual to have the gravel. Don't know exactly why that is. But you can see the school is basically gone. You can see what's left of the playground over there. And of course, the start of the fire, that's Lahaina Luna Road right there. It started right there, pole number 25. If you watch the after action report that just came out by the ATF, that's pole number 25. So that's where the fire supposedly started. The official cause is a downed power line. Even though there was no power, supposedly they recharged the line, and that's what caused it to spark up again. And then the fire started again down in a gully by some embers. Everything, they blame embers for everything. Most. Why do you think they cut down the mangoes? We don't know. We don't know. Had a friend of mine that was watering his mango after the fire. It was perfectly good. It was bearing fruit. And then they cut it down. But there's one of these boxes. Now you have to remember, this entire harbor was on fire. Every boat in here basically burned, I think. And you can see that these boxes that are just very rickety, woody, you know, these are all perfectly fine. So why did an ember not catch that on fire, right? How did all the boats caught fire, but this was, and there's many of them, right? You can see there's more of them down there. So it's quite interesting. And of course, here we have appropriately, the Hawaiian flag and the US flag flying half-mast over Lahaina. You can see the burnt palm trees in the background, the lighthouse there. But let's go for a little walk, guys, and we're actually gonna get into the truck. Ryan's gonna drive the truck. I'm gonna sit in the back of the truck, and we're just gonna take a quick tour through Lahaina town. So, where we can go. Obviously, I'll show you some of the security guards and all the people that are posted 24/7 that you still cannot enter the town itself. And most of the commercial areas completely off of, well, there's some residential areas in there as well. And why they've opened up certain sections of town, I don't know why. So if you guys remember, right here there was a church. The church, what was this church called, Ryan?
I can't say. I don't know.
It's the one that had the little baby Jesus and the statue in the front. All right. Don't want to get the olukais wet and dirty, right? So we got to take those off because this is obviously a seawall right here.
Holy Innocents?
Holy Innocents, yes. So we're going to be passing Holy Innocents here in a moment, and you're going to see obviously it's a complete loss as well. So again, if you're just joining the live, this is the first time we are doing a live here in Lahaina since the fire. I didn't even do a live the morning after the fire because there was no internet service, and there wasn't internet service for many, many, many months afterwards. But you can see here what's left of, this is, I believe, Holy Innocents. The church still has not been cleared. So 14 months later, we've got lots and lots of places in Lahaina that are just literally exactly the way they were the day after the fire. So as always, we're trying to keep awareness going for Lahaina. So if you're just joining the live, please be sure to hit the like button, share it on your social media, Facebook, Instagram, friends, family. Trying to keep the awareness alive because obviously there's lots of other destructive forces on planet Earth, but probably mostly man-made. But we got to keep focus on, I believe, one of the places that really is the cause for the awakening of a lot of people. You can see here just as if the fire just happened yesterday. And here's some of these trees. You can see the trees that were cut. Most of them have got some kind of the blue paint is to ensure that that stump never burns again. So what was right here? Oh yeah, this is the little cul-de-sac. If you remember, there was a hostel there was like a private business type hostel that was right there. And these are residential lots that have been cleared, but these were a number of beautiful oceanfront homes right here. Oh, look. Hey, guys. Is there a message in a bottle? Ryan, is there a message in the bottle? Nope. All right. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah. Interesting.
So we're coming up on the beach park that's just to the north of 505 Front Street, which was the two-story wooden structure. You guys maybe remember this tree. It was sort of like a little, I don't know, like a little hovel. Cool little tree. A lot of people like to hang out underneath there and drink beers and whatever, smoke weed, play their guitars. So it's still there. As a matter of fact, it's a little better of a structure now for some reason. And there you can see the security guards that are basically, you know, always guarding the town.
What are the job applications for that?
I know, that's the ultimate job, right? Just kind of sit on the side of the beach. Get paid to just chill. So what we're looking at right here is the 505. And I find it so interesting that the 505 utterly burned to the ground. It was a massive two-story wooden shopping center. Still has not been cleaned up, yet Lahaina Shores, directly next to it, perfectly fine. I just find that so interesting. Imagine the amount of heat and whatnot coming off of that particular structure as it burned, yet the wooden railings over here are completely intact. I saw some bubbled paint over there. I did I did a video over there a few months ago, but I find that so interesting. And of course, if you ever went to the feast at Lele, these are their chairs, their stage. This restaurant over here, what was this restaurant called, right? Pacifico. That was Pacifico right there. So some of you have maybe eaten dinner right there. They had tables set up here basically almost right on the beach. This is the elevator stack for the 505. The tattoo shop was up there. My office actually when I first moved here was right there, right above Spanky's.
Yeah, a lot of good memories at 505.
Huh? Shout out to Spanky's. If you have any memories of watching a fight down there or football or just having a cold beer and a burger at Spanky's, these are all the tables from the feast at Lele. That's what's left of the tables. And then of course right here we have one of my favorite resorts. I'm thankful of course that it survived, Lahaina Shores. The cinder block building.
And imagine the amount of debris from that burning.
Oh my goodness.
Big structure.
So this structure is obviously still closed. They have it boarded off down below. The owners here are still paying HOA fees. Matter of fact, that's a kind of an unknown fact. A lot of people don't realize this, but if you owned a condo and it burned, or if you're not able to use it, guess what? You're still paying your HOA dues, and it's maybe slightly discounted, but not much. And of course, if you stop making your HOA dues, then eventually the HOA can basically put a lien on your property. So people at Opukea, Ho'onanea, Kahoma Village, all these different condos that burned, you still have to pay your HOA fees and your mortgage.
And why is that a thing?
Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
Because that's the rules, I guess, but there's no relief that's come from the government. Matter of fact, people I'm talking to now just had to pay their taxes for last year, and their any insurance proceeds they received were considered taxable. Isn't that wild? They had to pay tax on insurance proceeds. Big tax bills. No tax relief. They put something before the Congress in Hawaii to change that law, but they said, hey, if we do it for Hawaii, we'd have to do it for Florida, so major financial burden. So here what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna head out to Front Street. This is one of the public access points. Matter of fact, before we do that, let me just show you some of the homes that did survive. I think it's kind of interesting to note. This home here was just built, because here you can see 3 of the most prominent homes that survived the fire. So one of the questions is, if they don't allow people to rebuild in the new high water mark area, how is that fair for these homes that are still in place? And how is it that these homes survived? But here I'm going to show you. What's that? Because it's America and I can video? It's a public place? Oh, okay. Gotcha.
We're not on your property. Okay.
So anyway, we have private homeowners that are getting upset that we're videotaping their houses. So there we have that home right there. And then there's another one. What's that? It's not okay? Okay. And then you have another one right there. It's perfectly legal to video in a public place. Sorry. Aloha. Okay, guys. Again, authoritarianism, the spirit of authoritarianism is alive and well. So you can't video in a public place? Like, really? Last time I checked, it's called freedom of the press. So those are 3, you just saw 3 of the newer built homes that survived on the ocean. And I believe there's 3 older homes that survived. So I think there's 6 on the south end of Front Street. If you guys enjoyed Karen, love the thumbs up. She's still screaming. You just said, see you, Karen. That's too funny. Okay, so you can see this is almost like The Living Dead, right? Look at this. Beautiful bougainvillea. Here's a shot of the front of Lahaina Shores. And then,
Shout out to all the Karens.
Shout out to the Karens. We love you guys. Okay, Rye, we're gonna jump in the truck. We'll go for a little cruise. And here we are on Front Street.
And I'm trying to keep an eye out for a trash can.
So this is that home that we were just in front of that survived. And oh yeah, I wanted to point out something else real quick. I forgot. Kind of interesting. When you get to here, you can go ahead and fire up the truck, right? You can still see the remnants of the fire right there. Isn't that wild? Like literally burnt street post. And then when you come here, you can see this. Isn't that wild? There's one here, and there's another one here. It's almost like a circular burn mark, like a big something smashed into that and didn't make it any further. But you can tell you've got a concrete sidewalk here. You have a, do I sound like the crocodile hunter a little bit here right now? I'm not trying to, but you have a pavement right here, right? Pavement, right? So nothing burned right here, right? That lamppost is kind of okay, but then you've got this big. So what I heard from many witness accounts is that there was embers the size of basketballs, these big balls of fire that were just flying everywhere. And so I think this is a great evidence point. You can see sort of the scar here, but again, I just ask you, where did this come from? There's nothing over here on fire. This tree is fine, you know, there's nothing over here, see? It's just so interesting to me. And another kind of pattern right here as well, but then this house is fine. So I want to find out, like, what did you guys build your house out of? What did you do? Because obviously you survived. Because right across the street, right? Gone, 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 gone. Everything is gone. All right. If you guys are enjoying this content, share, shaka, subscribe, leave a comment. Got to get the word out. Got to keep awareness alive for Lahaina. And of course, the video is brought to you by switchforlahaina.com. Oh. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go for a cruise. Let's go.
Ready?
Yes, sir. So now we're gonna work with the light here because the sun's going down, and I'm not gonna point stuff right into the sun, but I want you to see. Whoa. That's all right. Woo. Doing some four-wheeling now. So here we are going down. This is Front Street. We're heading south on Front Street right now. By the way, I have a loose bushing on one of my shocks. So that's the sound you're going to be hearing for all you mechanical people out there. A loose bushing. It's on order, but ProComp apparently went out of business. So here's one of those smaller, older homes that survived that I mentioned. Here's one of these larger, newer homes that survived. Everything next door is gone. And I'll try to pan back and forth as much as I can to show you. But as you can see, the landscape has significantly changed here. Looks like a small mini home is going up back there. Shout out to Kaelo. What's that? No, it's okay. Just keep going down Front Street. Just go all the way down. That's Jim Neighbor's old home down there, right on the ocean. That one survived, but the home in front of it, 373 Front Street. I don't know where those big flags came from. I don't remember those. Someone must have erected that. That's our old house there, 350 Front Street. It's where we first moved when we lived here. We first moved into that home. 3 big mango trees gone. Over here, Longy's house. That was Longy's house back there, by the way. This is the infamous red-roofed house that survived. You can see that's quite stunning, considering it's really old and wooden. Still there. You can see you've got some people that are actually living in campers now down here as they're rebuilding their homes. Now we're here on the north end of Puamana. We're on the very south end of Front Street. This is Puamana, and some of the Puamana units burned right here in this corner. This is all Puamana right here. That's where the clubhouse used to be right there. We almost actually rented this house a long time ago, but we ended up not doing it. You can go down here, Rye. We'll just take a little look around this neighborhood. If you guys remember Ken Cherry, Coast Guardie, that's where his home was. Aloha Ken and family. The tennis court and a pool back here. This neighborhood had some shared amenities. It's a beautiful little neighborhood. Maybe I'll get you out of the sun, get you more this direction. Hey, right up here, you can just take a right and go back on the highway. This over here is the Shark Pit neighborhood. Matter of fact, go down this street here to your right, and then we'll just do a turnaround so they can see a little bit of the Shark Pit neighborhood. But you can see a lot of the residential homes have been cleared. The gravel obviously has been put in. But as you can see, not a lot of structures. All the pools had these fences that were put around them, these chain link fences, I was told, for safety. So the good news is you can see things are starting to happen. It's very, very slowly. If anybody would like to purchase half of a house, maybe it's available. Okay, right now we'll head back out on the highway. So we're on the corner of Ka'io. And you can see they started putting signs on the trees, no cut tree, because they're starting to cut all the trees, or they already have cut all the trees. A vast, vast majority of all the beautiful mango trees that were in Lahaina were cut down mercilessly. And I asked some people in the know why that happened, and they said it was because of liability. They didn't know the integrity of the tree structure and if it could, fall and hurt somebody. So they called them widow makers. There's another neighborhood over here that was sort of affordable housing, and of course it caught fire. And of course, if you notice here, the fire jumped from this sound wall across a 4-lane highway and made its way through that sound wall. I don't know how that's possible, but apparently it is. You would think that would be enough to stop a fire, but apparently it wasn't. So over here you've got the park, and yes, baseball fields, soccer fields, football. You do have kids playing football right now, practicing for football, I should say. Next to that, you have got the skate park and the pool. The pool just opened up a couple days ago. Take a ride in here, right? Just want to show you guys this real quick. Actually, Ryan played football here back when he was a 12-year-old. He said, "Dad, it sure is hot here." He was actually too big. They made him put on a turtleneck to lose weight. But anyway, basketball's been happening here. That's the Boys and Girls Club. It's opened up again. There was the homeless shelter up there, completely burned. How that's possible, I have absolutely no idea. And then over here you have the pool, which is now open. Just opened a couple days ago, and then the skate park is just beyond that. So yeah, you can just do a turnaround right here, right? So as you can see, we're still not allowed back into where that road is closed. I'd love to go back there and see the homeless shelter that burned to the ground and just kind of try to figure out how that happened. Sorry about that. Someone's trying to call me and I had to put my phone into do not disturb mode again. So there's the Lahaina Aquatic Center, which is, like I said, just opened up, I think about a week ago. Unfortunately, all the kids that were trying to keep their swimming careers going had to drive all the way up to Kula or Kihei ever since the fire, and that's very difficult, as you know, a lot of driving. And I was told that the pool here was in rougher shape because they didn't maintain it after the fire. There's a lot of damage because it wasn't taken care of. So this is the Lahaina skate park right here. It just opened up as well. That's probably where Hunter's trying to get to. He's calling me to see if he can get a ride. But what I want to show you guys over here is how you can't get into Lahaina. want to show you these Checkpoint Charlies. So you can see that road's closed, but you can see there's a Checkpoint Charlie in there. Did you see that? So that's manned 24/7. So we're coming up on where the Catholic Church is. This right here is the resort or the condominiums, vacation rentals known as Aina Nalu. Again, you can see another Checkpoint Charlie right here. Manned Checkpoint Charlie right there. Do you see that? Can't go in there. Same with, that's looking up towards Lahaina Luna. That's where the fire started, was up there. That's all inaccessible as well till. Here's the Maui County Credit Union, of course, completely unscathed. And more checkpoints. Checkpoint Charlie. Sorry about that. It's a Pioneer Mill. Bunch of gravel. This is where the subway was, I believe. The brewery back there, you can still see the brewery tanks. UPS store, sugarcane train, the pawn shop, Mike's surf shop, and of course the beautiful 5G still spewing out its. There's Napa survived. They're not open, of course, but there's the bike shop, of course. Taco Bell. That was Opukea's front building. This is Ho'o. That's Opukea's front building right there, excuse me. Opukea. And then back in there, you've got Ho'o Nanea, and a couple of those buildings burned in there. And then we're kind of back to civilization right now, which is Starbucks and Lahaina Gateway, Lahaina Cannery Mall. So pretty much from here on out, everything is relatively normal. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can just take a left here, right? Right there is the Kahoma Village neighborhood, which is very interesting. The affordable housing burn that was in sort of the center of it. Very mysterious how that happened. But here's a quick shot of some of the infrastructure that did survive, thankfully. We've got Long's Drugs. Denny's right there, has not opened up yet. Jimmy John's, they've opened up. Safeway, always packed with lots and lots of people. Over here to the right, we have Island Cream, which is very important. Island Cream, come get your ice cream. And Foodland Farms is open. We have the Ace Hardware. That's the new location for the Ace Hardware. Thank goodness they moved because the old location burned to the ground. Shout out to T-Mobile, because that's who provides my 4G, 5G. Good job, guys. Verizon's horrible on Maui, so don't bother with those guys. So we're right here in the corner of Ho'opi'ilani and Keawe. So Keawe is where the bypass drops down into Lahaina town. So this is the termination of the bypass, which is the highway that runs parallel to Lahaina that was recently opened. And I've heard that the extension of the bypass has been canceled. It will not go any further than Keawe, is what I've been told. Not enough money. So you can see there's some construction happening here. I'm not too sure what they're building. Ryan just hit the windshield washer fluid and it went in my mouth. Oh, it's disgusting. All right, I deserve a thumbs up for eating windshield wiper fluid for you guys, right? Okay. Give me a thumbs up for the windshield wiper washer fluid going in my mouth. And please tell ProComp to give me a bushing so I can fix my darn ProComp shock. Windshield wiper fluid. Yucky! All right. This is harder than you think, man. This is not comfortable, by the way, sitting in the back of a pickup truck on your knees. So over here, they're building apparently a Bank of Hawaii and a Fork and Salad. And some of this not traffic, but parking that you're seeing, I think is going to be for the old Lahaina Luau. I think the old Lahaina Luau is happening again. And that's usually why this parking lot would fill up. Shout out to Boss Frogs. You know me, guys, I'm all about shouting out local businesses, especially the ones that are surviving, trying to, not just surviving, but thriving, hopefully, if you guys come to Maui. On that note, tourism is epically down across the entire island, from South Kihei, Wailea, McKenna, all the way up to Kapalua, and especially Kaanapali. So if you do make your travel plans, we implore you to make them. Gosh, this is crazy, man. To make them on the west side of Maui. You guys going to the old Lahaina Luau? Is that what it is? That's what I thought. It'll be delicious. Yeah, my favorite. All right, we got some bumps here. All right. That's a serious sea vessel right there. All right, so here we are. We'll hook a left up here and finish the tour, maybe down by Mala. So they are going to the old Lahaina Luau, which again, with all these flying embers that are responsible for catching everything on fire, imagine that they didn't catch any grass thatched roofs on fire, right? Oh, it was embers. Embers caught everything on fire. But the most flammable thing, that was organic. Oh, it's perfectly fine. But an ember catches a car on fire in the middle of nowhere. It was an ember. Eric, you're a conspiracy theorist. It's like, shut up. I am what's called logical, and I'm pointing out the truth, people. Gosh. It's like, I think people have been drugged. I think, okay, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. I'm not going there. I do know this though for sure. Jesus is coming soon. Praise the Lord. Right? Right? No, keep going straight. We'll show them how far they can get down. We're back on Front Street now, guys. Ala Moana, not the Ala Moana Shopping Center, but this is Ala Moana and the very south end of Front Street. And this is the entrance to Kahoma. Oh, wait a second. We got the Kingdom Hall. Hey! Oh, right there. Hey, I came down here today looking for those people. Yeah, I'll come back. Yeah. Okay, keep going, right? Wow, almost knocked me over. Sheesh. Up here you can take a right, Ryan, and then turn around in the cul-de-sac, but you can take a right on this street. As you can see here, Checkpoint Charlie. You're not going any further. But we can take a right down the street here, this is the old entrance to Baby Beach. If you remember that little walking path. And you can go all the way down here and turn around, Rai. This actually dead ends at Pu'unoa Estates, which are some beautiful oceanfront condos that did not burn. But all these beautiful, these are, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 million oceanfront homes, all gone. And then there's Pu'unoa Estates, which is perfectly fine. And they do have direct oceanfront. And then this home across the street, it was okay. But there's Pu'unoa Beach Estates. Oh, man, sorry about that. I'm kind of getting jostled here a little bit. I want you guys to see, what's standing and what's not. Okay, Rai, you can just go back down to Mala now. And we'll end at Mala Ramp. Whew. We could go down this street right here, but basically it's Kahoma Village over here on the left, all those buildings except the ones in the center, some of the oceanfront affordable ones, and then here have Front Street Apartments, which is where Blind Daniel was going to live. That's Front Street Apartments right there. And then thankfully a lot of these homes on Front Street, survived. Oh, take a left here, right? Didn't hear me. All right, guys, if you're just joining the live, this was my first ever live in on and around the burn zone, Lahaina. We started at the harbor breakwall. This truck sounds horrible, doesn't it? Oh, it's a Dodge. I mean, it's a Ram. Now, I want you to know that we're one of the best funded counties in the nation. And this is the bathrooms that we get. Isn't that great? Yeah, you ought to see inside. Yep, that's your Maui County dollar at work right there. Yep, beautiful. Now the private bathrooms, there's some beaches that have private bathrooms like Kahikili or Airport Beach Park. There's a nice bathrooms, right? Because they're private. Anything the government touches, you can pretty much just turns to rust, moth, dirt, darkness. Horrible, right? And we give them so much of our money. And what do they do with it? Do they fix the parking lot? Do they fix the potholes? What do they do? What are they doing with the billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars? Don't get me started. Oh, okay, this is a good spot, right? Right here is good, right? Okay, I think we're good. You can just go back out. Okay. Whew, man. All right, guys. Well, hey, I've had enough fun in the back of a pickup truck. I feel like many people on Maui that get stuck in the back of the pickup truck. I always see them in the back. And now I know how you guys feel. It sucks, especially when there's a missing bushing on one of the shocks. But anyway, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I appreciate it. Much aloha to you. And I'm telling you, this is Maui County roads. I mean, I'm not kidding you. Look at this. Look at this. Hang on. Look. That's what I'm talking about. What are they doing? I mean, it's horrible. Look at that. I mean, yeah, bushing or no bushing. I mean, you shouldn't have to be like in four-wheel drive mode going down a side street off of one of the most heavily taxed and income-producing streets on the entire island chain, right? You should be able to eat off of these streets. The kids should have the best facilities, the best teachers, the best of everything. But guess what? They don't. Someone's on the take. I don't know who it is, but it's annoying. And the only way we can make a difference is by voting them all out of office. So hopefully you guys are going to do that for me here real quick. You know what to do, and you're going to do it. In the comments, who are you going to vote for? Okay, here we go. Lahaina luau, let's go. Okay, here we have the new Star Noodle right next to Aloha Mixed Plate. Star Noodle's back. And unfortunately, Honu's open too. No way, Honu's opening again. And then Mala is open, and the new bandwagon, and this is Nuku's neighborhood, so right back to reality here, unfortunately. Now, Nuku's neighborhood, you can drive down it, but we won't do that. So we'll maybe end the live on a beautiful shot here of the L. Lahaina Luna. Luna's forever. Don't forget Lahaina. If you've enjoyed the video, as always, please subscribe to the channel. The shadow ban is real. Please like the video. Please go check out switchforlahaina.com. It's a beautiful program if you want to quit feeding the elites your money. We can give you toothpaste and soap and the best products that are made right here in the good old US of A, family owned. And it will support people from this town that lost their job, that lost their home. Switchforlahaina.com. By the way, they have got the best beef that you'll ever eat in your entire life. And Dr. Berg just put out a video. If you haven't seen it, he just put out a video, I think 2 days ago, talking about how they're not just ear tagging cattle now, but they're microchipping them, and then they are killing them. So they're trying to reduce our fact that you have got an option to get the best beef on the planet through switchforlahaina.com. I'm telling you, it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Hey, as we're continuing this tour, hang on a second. We're looking out at over the neighborhood of Wahikuli. Another good opportunity to take a look at what rebuilding has occurred so far. You can see most of these lots have been cleared. but not a whole lot of structures. Another Maui County building that survived, of course. I heard every Maui County building survived. There's that one house that's going up right there. You can see the sticks. But in the comments, let me know, what do you think about the progress in 14 months? What's your opinion? There's another one that's going up. Shout out. Wow, fast progress on that. They just poured that foundation last week. Shout out to Mike and Kara. Good job, guys. Still Waikuli neighborhood. Still in the burn zone. There's a house that's being rebuilt. There's the Mormon church, one of two. And then what happens right about here is we get into what's called Hawaiian homes. And this neighborhood did not suffer any losses. And this is where the power goes underground. So Waikuli had an above ground power line and a below ground power line. Right here, all the power lines were below ground and the fire did not make it any further than the above ground. Okay guys, well that concludes this episode, this first live ever since the fire, 14 and a half months later. If you enjoyed the video, love a shaka, a share, a subscribe, please go to switchforlahaina.com and make the switch. Do it for the people, do it for yourself. It'll be the best thing I think you'll ever do. And when you eat that first filet mignon, I want to know what it tastes like, because I'm telling you, man, it is so good. It is so good. You will love it. Matter of fact, it's grown on Kauai. It's grown on the Big Island. And I love the young guys that have the really loud exhausts. I just love those guys. Of course. Yes, sir. You can't make it up. He's just gonna hang right there in the blind spot. Of course. All right, guys. Till next time, I shall return. I don't know where, I don't know when, but I can promise you one thing. It'll be from the most beautiful place on planet Earth. The best lifestyle you'll ever find. Even if it's in the back of a pickup truck with a missing bushing. Much aloha, guys. Thank you so much. Much love and aloha to the entire Lahaina, Ohana, all of West Maui, all of Maui, all of Hawaii, and every patriot out there. Go vote. Till next time, Eric West out.